Hi everyone. Okay, my first try at this video got an error, so this is my second recording of this. What I'm going to be doing today is Fear the Walking Dead episode 4, Not Fade Away. And I'm going to be doing a review and synopsis. I'm going to say a couple of things that I did and did not like, as well as I'm going to be doing after this a predictions video for what I think is going to happen. Not necessarily on the next episode, but within the next 2 episodes. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start this off with Christopher's speech at the very beginning. You can definitely tell it was sarcastic, especially with him calling the military tiny, the little green men. And you can definitely tell he was not enthusiastic about it like Travis was in the previous episode when they got there. We also are known that it's 9 days past since everything happened. So you're kind of getting a time frame on what's going on and where everything's been happening. But while he was doing this entire speech and recording, he found he saw a light that was blinking off in the distance, and you hear him just kind of go hello, and it kind of cuts after that to Travis kind of coming in, Madison and him getting in a fight. She's saying that she's pretty much doing everything. And Travis is saying that he has to go watch something that the lead military guy, which I'm sorry I forget his name, wanted him to come to. So when he's leaving, he goes up to talk to Christopher, and Christopher's saying, "Hey Dad, you have to see this," and he's saying that he doesn't have the time, but Christopher has him watching, and he's going, "What am I looking at?" And he points it out, and he said, it's probably just some sort of reflection coming off a window, and he just basically blew it off, and you could tell that Christopher was just not thrilled with that at all. When Christopher went inside and he's talking to Madison, he shows the video, you can kind of see Madison kind of believes him a little bit. And I mean, kind of going on, she later, when it's in the morning, like early in the morning before the sun comes up, she went outside onto the roof with a flashlight and started shining the light, and she got a response of someone else kind of blinking the light. That's a little bit later on. Nick is resorting to what he was doing before and what actually I thought he was going to do, which is somehow not try to get in trouble, but somehow going to get in trouble because he's going into other people's houses and he's looking for drugs and whatever the case is, and he actually found something that was going on, which the neighbor's husband was on a morphine drip. So you get to see that Nick is underneath the bed. He's got the morphine drip going directly into the toe between one toe and another, and he's just laying there and just enjoying it. Meanwhile, the guy that's above him, the neighbor's husband, is suffering. You can visibly hear it. He later gets caught by Madison, and she just starts slapping the hell out of him because she's angry, and she says, "You don't even know." And you can kind of tell that she's kind of referring to he doesn't even know the trouble and the pain that she's gone through, and the suffering that she's had to deal with because he's getting high constantly. Madison, because she sees the light, I mean, she goes into the demilitarized zone, and she's seeing, that the infected, as she calls it, the infected that are dead, they've been shot in the head, but she sees one person who wasn't even infected, has also been shot in the head. And she had to hide from the military. They're coming up over the hill, so that way she doesn't get shot either. And she comes back later, and she tells Daniel, Salazar, what she sees out there, and he asks bluntly, just what did you see? Tell me what you everything that you saw. And she says that she saw the infected, and that she saw that there was one person that wasn't even infected that got shot and was killed. As far as Liza is concerned, she was going out and she was helping out the neighbor by setting up a morphine drip for her husband, and there's these other people that are saying that if it wasn't for her, they'd probably be dead. And there's a government worker that comes, doctor basically, and once again I forget her name as well, I'm sorry, and basically kind of finds out, and it kind of says that you're probably not licensed. You're not what you say you are. And Liza just kind of, you can kind of tell Liza got caught. But the odd thing about this is that that doctor said, well, how would you like to pretend a little bit longer? And Liza's going, what? So you could definitely tell she was kind of confused by that. She thought she was going to get in trouble, when really, no, she's not getting in trouble. The doctor's asking for her help. And she goes around and does the rounds with the doctor, and comes to Griselda, saying, she changes the dressing twice a day, and the doctor is saying that she's probably going to have to be amputated, and Daniel saying that he wants to go with, and the doctor saying, of course you can. Now, obviously, we find out later that's a lie, because later on, she goes ahead and she takes Griselda, but she also takes Nick. Now, I mean, she did check Nick out, and she tells Nick that his heart rate is elevated, and this is all before Nick gets slapped to hell by his mom. But yeah, I mean, later on when when the nighttime comes, the military kind of come in. They take Griselda and they say that they have one other person. Daniel Salazar is thinking that's him, and they're going, no, he's not on the list. And in fact, it's Nick that they're looking for. And Alicia, after just kind of comforting him after seeing his bruises on his face, she looks at Nick and says, "Run," and he promptly does so, only to be caught and actually get hit, basically a rifle butt to his head. And the basically a fight breaks out in the house, and Travis has to stop it by going, hey, it's only an old man and a kid. You don't need to shoot them. Madison is having basically having a meltdown because her son's being taken away, and she runs out and she's wondering where he's being taken to. Liza is given a choice right then and there because she was helping take patients out, and the doctor looks at her and says that that the patients need her, she needs her, her family will be fine, her son will be fine. You come with us and we'll make sure that you're safe. When she leaves with, Madison kind of walks in, looks at Travis and says, Liza, she did this, and she's obviously ticked. And at the very end, you see Travis going out onto the roof. He sees the person shining the light, and then sees gunfire go off in that same house. And you definitely tell by the shocked look on his face he wasn't expecting that. And earlier in the episode, he told the person in charge that his son saw somebody shining a light in a house up on the hill, and the guy just pretty much denied it, saying that they already searched there, they did a sweep. Travis is going, yeah, I know you did. And the guy just pretty much says that he already did forget about it. But obviously he didn't, because later on, obviously the gunfire. This episode was pretty boring, to be honest. I'm not going to lie about that. With everything going on, I mean, I think the highlights of this were the fact of Madison going out into the world and seeing what's going on, coming back and talking to Daniel Salazar, who told her a little bit about his early life. You get to actually start knowing him a little bit more, and why he doesn't trust the government. And then of course the little fight that happens inside the house, even though it's not really a fight, it's just people yelling, screaming, and the two nearly got shot. And then of course Travis seeing the gunfire at the very end. I mean, those were pretty much the highlights of the entire thing. If I had to review this from 1 to 10, I would have to give it a 6 due to the fact that it was boring. One thing I did like about it is the fact that you get to see how the military is trying to handle things, and just how strict they're being about it with the curfew and everything, and you're not even allowed to drive inside the zone and everything. You have to pretty much walk everywhere you go, unless it's a military vehicle taking you somewhere. So with this, I'm going to be ending it, but I'm going to let you all know that I'm going to be doing a predictions video on the last 2 episodes. Not necessarily what's going to be happening just next episode, but the last 2. And with that, thank you for watching, and I hope you all watch the other videos. Thank you.